What's up everyone, I'm CallumOnToast, and in today's video I'm going to be showcasing some battles in the Sunshine Cup submitted to the channel by GargaKash, who's running Shadow Meganium, Chandelure, and Shadow Ho-Oh. Those of you that have been watching my channel for a while will know that I'm a massive fan of running double Incinerate users, especially in limited cup formats, so I'm very excited to see how these battles pan out. But with that being said, let's get into the question of the day. Which Pokemon do you think is borderline unstoppable when you give a shield advantage for the endgame? This doesn't have to be specifically for the Sunshine Cup, it can be for any meta. Just let me know in the comment section down below, and with that being said, let's get into the battles now. Alright, so going into the first battle, lead Shadow Meganium into Vigoroth, so a very common lead you're going to see in the Sunshine Cup. We're going to go straight for a Frenzy Plant. We do have two better responses to this Vigoroth, so I wouldn't be surprised if we do eventually swap out of this matchup, but we do grab an early shield advantage. I'm going to let the Body Slam go through. They will outpace us to the next move, but we're going to stay in, force them to throw this Body Slam, and it looks like we're happy to let Meganium go down. Quite interesting to see with an ABB style team, but Chandelure does have some very nice coverage in the form of Energy Balls, so maybe it's not too bad here. Gonna go for a Flame Charge. We actually grab the final shield from the opponent. They are clearly very weak to the Chandelure in the back, so we're gonna use a shield. They do bait with a Body Slam, but they're only gonna make it to another Body Slam, and this is double resisted, so we will let it go through. The Incinerate takes them out as they come in with a Noctowl. We're already one stage boosted, so this Flame Charge is going to do so much damage to the Noctowl, and they will have to throw a Charge move to take us out before we make it to a third Flame Charge here with the Chandelure. Sky Attack takes us out. We come in with the Ho-Oh. They swap instantly into their Steelix, and they will be able to make it to a Breaking Swipe. This will debuff our attack, but it doesn't matter too much. We can overfarm in this matchup, and we're going to do exactly that, farming to 100 energy, going for the Earthquake, and Earthquake, even with the debuff, takes out the Steelix. And we're just one Incinerate away from the Brave Bird, and this will easily be enough damage from this range to take out the Noctowl, and we're able to take that game. Into next game, very tricky lead leading into Gligar. This thing technically does beat probably our whole team here. We're going to let the first move go through, and Aerial Ace does a lot of damage, but we do live it, and we can go straight for a Frenzy Plant here, and the opponent is going to shield up the Frenzy Plant, so we swap straight away into the Chandelure. I do agree with this play. There's no point in giving them any extra farm. Gonna shield up the charge move. The opponent baits with an Aerial Ace, but honestly, Aerial Ace is going to do a lot of damage to Chandelure since it is a very classy Pokemon. We go for a Flame Charge, and once again, the opponent double shielding in this lead matchup, but this time they overfarm with the Gligar, allowing us to make it to another Flame Charge, taking out the Gligar, and they now come in with a Vigoroth. Now they're going to throw straight away here, and we are actually going to let this move go through. Body Slam is enough damage from that range to take us out. We come in with the Ho-Oh, and we predict they're going to throw straight away once again, and they do exactly that, so we can catch it onto the Meganium. And now we come in with the Ho-Oh. This time they've got a Galarian Stunfisk in the bag. Doesn't matter, it's going to be the same outcome here as we go for the Earthquake, one-shotting the Stunfisk, and now we will be able to make it to the Brave Bird on the CMP tie. Doesn't even matter if we lost CMP because we have a shield anyways, but Brave Bird takes out the Vigoroth, and we're able to take that game. Into next game, we see a much better lead leading into Swampert. The opponent swaps into Trevenant, and we come in with our Shadow Ho-Oh. Now the opponent throws out a really awkward time there, allowing us to get a full Incinerate in for free, and that's massive because now we won't have to double shield in this matchup. We can commit to the full Incinerate farm down. We're going to bait with an Earthquake. I don't think that's necessary because they're not going to be able to Mud Shot farm us down, but anyways, we still make it to that Brave Bird after just one more Incinerate, and Brave Bird takes out the Swampert from that range, and the opponent's going to come in with a Steelix. I wonder if we come in with the Meganium. Yes, we do exactly that because we can tank this energy a lot more comfortably than on the Chandelure. We're now going to swap, clear the debuff, and honestly, we can probably just let this move go through as well, and we are going to see that we do actually let the Breaking Swipe go through. We go straight for a Flame Charge. They will unfortunately be able to fully Dragon Tail farm us down, but it doesn't really matter at this point. We can let them farm us down, and they are now in range, where we can go straight for a Frenzy Plant, even with another debuff, and we're still going to let it go through there, knowing that Steelix, whilst it is very tanky, it doesn't hit very hard, and Frenzy Plant takes out the Steelix, and we're able to take that game. Into next game, we see another Vigoroth in the lead, so we are going to stay in this lead matchup, and this time the opponent does throw straight away. So they go for the Body Slam. It does some nice damage there. We're going to go straight for a Frenzy Plant here, and this Frenzy Plant will be shielded by the opponent, so this time we do swap straight away into the Chandelure, and the opponent has to farm to the Bulldoze to potentially grab a shield or take us out, but we're able to make it to the Flame Charge before they get there, and now the opponent's going to go for a charge move. Is this a Bulldoze? No, it's a Body Slam bait, which is unfortunate. but we do still make it to another Flame Charge before they make it to that Bulldoze, and Flame Charge takes out the Vigoroth. They come in with a Shadow Steelix, so we're seeing a lot of very similar teams here. We're actually going to shield this up, and we will now be able to go for that Flame Charge, and that will be able to take out the Steelix from this range. And what will the opponent have in the back? We take out the Steelix, and they've got a Venusaur in the back, and we swap into our Shadow Ho-Oh, and you're going to see that we will be able to live a Sludge Bomb on our Shadow Ho-Oh. Not that comfortably, but they're not going to be able to Vine Whip farm us down, so the opponent recognizes that and they concede the match. Into next game, we see Credilli in the lead. This is a bit of a tricky one for our backline, so good to see it in the lead. Although, of course, we do resist or double resist the Bullet Seed damage on our two back Pokemon. The opponent swaps into Skeledirge. We go straight for an Earthquake, and we one-shot the Skeledirge, which is really good for us because we threw a really bad timing there. And if they did shield that up, we would have been in a lot of trouble. But now, we're going to swap into our Ho-Oh. We do resist the Ground-type damage here, so they have to go straight Night Slash in this matchup. Night Slash, not going to do too much damage. They don't get the boost. We're going to overfarm in this matchup. That's fine with us. Night Slash isn't going to threaten a shield here, and they won't be able to Mudshot farm us down. So now we can just go straight for the Brave Bird here, and Brave Bird will be grabbing a shield from the opponent, but we will make it to another Brave Bird before they get the full farm down here. So Brave Bird will be taking out the Sand Slash, and they come back in with the Credilli. Now we come straight in with the Meganium, going to go for a Frenzy Plant straight away here, and Frenzy Plant will be grabbing the final shield from the opponent, and at this point I think you just let this move go through and save both shields for the Chandelure, and that's exactly what we're going to do. We come in with the Chandelure, and the opponent recognizes it's game over for them, and they concede the match. Into next game, we see another tricky lead in the form of Gliscor this time around, and for some reason, typically, even though it does also have access to Aerial Ace, you're going to see a lot of Gliscor running Night Slash. I don't know why, because Gligar does also learn Night Slash, but for whatever reason, Gliscor seems to run it more often. But here, unfortunately, we don't quite get the Vine Whip farm down. They go for another Night Slash, they take us out, but it doesn't matter. We come in with the Chandelure, and the opponent is going to think about what to do before coming in with a Chandelure of their own. So very cool to see. We are running the Shiny though, and unfortunately we lose the CMP tie here. So we're going to use a shield, and now we can go for our own Flame Charge. Probably going to grab a shield back straight away. So let's see, the opponent is going to shield it up, and now we will be able to make it to another Flame Charge. And even though this is resisted damage with the boost, and because both Chandelures are very glassy, we probably would have taken them out from that range. So now we come in with the Ho-Oh, we get the Incinerate through here, and now hopefully they're not at the back-to-back charge moves. They go for a Shadow Ball, so they cannot throw another charge move, so we can safely go for the Brave Bird straight away, and Brave Bird will easily one-shot the Abomasnow. We get the Incinerate to farm down the Chandelure, and we're able to take that game. Into the next game, we see Wigglytuff in the lead, so we do have two fire types in the back. I would like to see us swap out of this matchup, but no, we're going to stay in, and we end up throwing on alignment, so really poor play in this matchup so far. We go for the Frenzy Plant, we do grab the shield, and we are barely able to make it to another Frenzy Plant, so throwing on alignment didn't quite cost us here, and we do grab both shields. So now we come in with the Chandelure. We're actually in a fairly good position here, because even if they do have something like a Swampert in the back, we've got two fire types that will be able to take them out with just one charge move here, as they do swap into that Swampert. Energy Ball one-shots the Swampert, and now we swap into our Ho-Oh. We can shield this up. We do have two shields. We might as well start using them here. They go for another Disarming Voice, and we will get the full Incinerate farm down. The opponent has a Steelix in the back, so we can go straight for the Earthquake here. An Earthquake, it is non-stab, so it won't quite take them out from this range, but we can safely shield in this matchup. Honestly, Breaking Swipe wouldn't quite take us out anyways, but the Incinerate damage takes out the Steelix, and we're able to take that game. Into next game, we see Abomasnow in the lead, so going to swap out straight away into Chandelure, and the opponent responds with a Shadow Nidoqueen. We can go straight for a Flame Charge here, and even if the opponent does bait with a Poison Fang, I would suggest we probably shield it up anyways, because look, they've already got us into the yellow health with resisted Poison Jab damage. We actually let it go through, which I think is a massive misplay, because now they're able to fully Poison Jab farm us down. Now we come in with Meganium. I'm not so sure about this, and we're going to let the Poison Fang go through, and they get the full farm down, and now we're just putting it all onto our Shadow Ho-Oh to sweep this game. The opponent comes in with a Talonflame. It's not looking too good for us. We're going to go for an Earthquake here. This is resisted damage, but hopefully they do shield it up, and they do use that final shield. They swap back into the Abomasnow, they grab a shield from us, and this is a really awkward situation to be in. It just depends, do we win the CMP tie up against that Talonflame in the back? I literally have no idea. It's been a while since I've played Ho-Oh, but can we win the CMP tie? No, we do end up losing it, which is unfortunate, because the opponent can go straight for a Brave Bird, taking out the Shadow Ho-Oh, and we do lose that game. But into the next game, we see a Venusaur in the lead, so we definitely swap out of that matchup into the Chandelure. The opponent responds with a Shadow Gligar, but they're very slow to swap out, so we might be able to flip this matchup as we go for a Flame Charge, which the opponent no shields, and now this will be very easy to flip, as we can just shield once. They go for a Night Slash here, so I take back what I said about the Gligar not running Night Slash, as I was just proven wrong instantly. But into the opponent coming in with a Diggersby. I'm not sure why we're baiting here. We might as well go straight for the Energy Ball. And the opponent does let it go through. So that would have been a boosted Energy Ball. I don't think it would still take them out, but it would have done so much damage there. Now we grab a shield, but they do get a very nice farm down. Going to come in with the Meganium. Hopefully it's not a Hyper Beam. It is just a Fire Punch. And obviously Fire Punch is super effective, but Hyper Beam would do more damage than 2 Fire Punches, I do believe. Although it's probably quite close. We're going to go for a Frenzy Plant here, and this will be taking out the Diggersby, and the opponent is going to let it go through. They come in with the Venusaur, and once again, we've seen already, we do live one Sludge Bomb. We're going to shield the first move here, and they do go for that Sludge Bomb, but we will be able to live the next Sludge Bomb coming through from this Venusaur, and we will be able to commit to the full Incinerate farm down. Sludge Bomb does big damage, but they won't be able to farm us down, and we take out the Venusaur and take that game. Into next game, we see another Vigoroth in the lead. This time they throw on CMP here, so we're going to go and let the Body Slam go through once again, go for that Frenzy Plant, and then we will probably swap into our Chandelure if the opponent does shield it up, which they do. Now the opponent's going to swap into their Shadow Swampert, but do they know about the Energy Ball coming through? They've already used one shield. Energy Ball takes out the Shadow Swampert there. Didn't want to double shield straight away in the early matchup, and now they come back in with the Vigoroth. We are going to let this move go through. They bait with a Body Slam, and now we unfortunately don't quite make it to the Flame Charge, so we're actually going to use a shield here. They go for another Body Slam, and now we can't overfarm in this matchup, go for a Flame Charge, and this will be enough damage to take out the Vigoroth, and the opponent has a Venusaur in the back. We barely don't make it to that Flame Charge, but once again, it does not matter. We're seeing a lot of repetition in these battles. We come in with the Shadow Ho-Oh. We're going to shield this up. They actually bait with a Frenzy Plant. Still doesn't matter. We'll be able to fully Incinerate, farm them down, and take that game. So into the next game, we see another Vigoroth in the lead. I do apologize for the repetition of these games. It feels like we're watching basically the same game over and over again, but unfortunately this is just what this trainer is seeing in the meta. I'm not sure, because obviously these are hand-selected battles, so I don't know if we're just a lot more suited to take on Vigoroth leads. Because, for example, I've seen a lot of Pidgeot in my battles. We haven't seen a single Pidgeot yet. But here, we're going to go for another Flame Charge bait. I really don't agree with this. And Flame Charge does go unshielded, so not sure why we don't just go straight for that Energy Ball. Of course, it doesn't one-shot like it does up against the Swampert, but it does get them incredibly lower with that Energy Ball. And it's kind of the reason why we should be running Energy Ball here in this meta. But the opponent does now use a shield. I don't know if they would have been able to farm us down there, but they do throw their energy, so that's good for us. We can let it go through, and even if they do make it to another charge move, which they do, Meganium should be able to tank it here, as it is resisted damage. And now we are going to swap, and we're going to go and snipe with the Incinerate damage from the Ho-Oh, and the opponent has a Talonflame in the back. Last time around, we did bait with an Earthquake, but this time we're full sending the Brave Bird, and Brave Bird will be one-shotting the Talonflame there as the opponent calls the bait there, and we're able to take that game. Into the next game, we see Gligar in the lead up against our Shadow Meganium. So once again, very tricky lead matchup. We're probably going to let this move go through, go for a Frenzy Plant, and if they do shield it up, we'll swap into the Chandelure, as it looks like that's probably the best play for us. So we're going to go for that Frenzy Plant. Frenzy Plant does grab a shield, and now we swap into the Chandelure, so that's good. We are going to see the opponent does throw just before we make it to the Flame Charge, and they do once again bait with the Aerial Ace, but that's fine. Going to go for one extra Incinerate. Very good charge move timing here, as we go for the Flame Charge, grabbing a shield from the opponent. They do make it to another charge move, and this time this opponent does actually throw, so we're going to shield it up. They do go for another Aerial Ace, and now they swap and they catch the move onto their Vigoroth, but that's absolutely fine with us. We go for a Flame Charge there, and then the opponent is gonna overfarm in this matchup. I don't know if Body Slam would take us out from this range. It would be very close, but we take them out with the Flame Charge. We are now triple boosted or double boosted, I can't remember, but the opponent does throw their energy here, so they're going to go for the aerial ace, taking out the Chandelure. We come in with the Ho-Oh. Can we get the farm down before they make it to a charge move? Yes, we can, and they've got a Shadow Hippowdon in the back. We can just go straight for that Brave Bird, and Brave Bird is easily gonna one-shot the Hippowdon, and we're able to take that game. So into the next game, we see Meganium into Shadow Swampert, so a very good lead for us. The opponent safe swaps into Gligar, and this is actually really bad for us. We have literally no response. We've played out the lead matchups by no shielding here, but that's quite risky considering they do have a Swampert in the back. Now we're going to go for that Frenzy Plant. The opponent lets it go through, so now we can come in with the Chandelure, and we should be able to shield once and fully farm them down. But no, we're actually going to let this move go through. They go for the dig, and I don't know why we didn't shield there. We might have just thrown away this game, and now we come in with Meganium. They've got a double, and yeah, it's just game over. Not really sure what we did there. That was very strange, but into the next game, another Vigoroth in the lead. Once again, I do apologize for how repetitive these battles are, but the opponent's going to go for a Body Slam. We let it go through, we throw on the CMP tie, and Frenzy Plant will be grabbing a shield, so once again going to swap into that Chandelure here, and the opponent is going to have to overfarm. I don't know if this is enough for a Bulldoze here, so we are actually going to let it go through, so very good call, and now we're going to overfarm, but they do make it to another Body Slam. We should still live this, so we will let it go through, and we're going to farm to 100 energy before eventually going for a Flame Charge, and this Flame Charge will be taking out the Vigoroth. The opponent's going to come in with a Donphan, as it looks like they did go for a counter there. It is a Shadow Donphan, and the opponent's able to counter farm us down, but we grab both shields from the opponent. We come in with the Meganium. They're actually able to counter farm us down as well, but then the opponent swaps into a Bomber Snow. Really unfortunate swap for the opponent there, as we would be able to shield once. Doesn't matter that Donphan will win CMP, and they've got a lot of energy because we've still got one shield remaining, so we can just safely shield up the Body Slam, go for that Brave Bird straight away, and this will easily be enough damage to take out the Shadow Donphan, and we're able to take that game. Into the next game, we see Steelix in the lead here, so we're going to stay in this lead matchup, probably go straight for a Frenzy Plant, but no, the opponent throws straight away. We get the extra Vine Whip through, they go for a Breaking Swipe, and now we swap. It's a simultaneous swap though, and in our favour because they come in with a Vigoroth, which Chandelure does have a very good matchup against. We go for a Flame Charge, the opponent lets it go through here, so we probably will have to shield this up, but if the opponent does full send the Bulldoze, then we will be able to fully Incinerate, farm them all the way down, come out with another Flame Charge loaded, they come back in with their Steelix. This should be grabbing their shield back from the opponent, and it does exactly that, and the opponent's now going to overfarm in this matchup, go for that Breaking Swipe. It will be enough damage to take out the Chandelure, but we can come back in with Meganium. We need to swap out, and we do swap into our Ho-Oh. Now this is a little bit of an awkward matchup here, as we are going to shield up the first move. They go for an Aerial Ace. We should go for the Earthquake straight away, but no, we overfarm in this matchup, and now they make it to another charge move. They go for the Aerial Ace, which gets us incredibly low. We're just going to have to go for the Brave Bird here, and the opponent actually lets it go through, which is really fortunate for us because now I think we will be able to win this game here, as we can just go straight for Frenzy Plants in this matchup. The first one grabs a shield, we make it to the second Frenzy Plant, and is this enough damage to take out the very bulky Steelix? Yes it is, and we're able to take that game. But into the next game, we see Quagsire in the lead, so very good lead matchup for us. The opponent is going to swap into their Tropius. Let's see if we play this matchup a little bit better than last matchup here, as we're going to shield the first move. They go for the Aerial Ace, and we're going to go for the Flame Charge. No, we over-tap, and once again, the opponent makes it to another charge move before we get off any energy in this matchup. I don't know what to say. This is just really poor play here. We're going to go for the Flame Charge, throw the next one straight away. We've given them 2 free Air Slashes because we weren't able to throw our Flame Charges straight away. And now the opponent is actually, well, they actually would have been able to fully Air Slash farm us down, but even without doing that, they're able to take us out in the 2 shield scenario. Luckily, Ho-Oh is very good as a sweeper, and we come in with the Ho-Oh. We go straight for a Brave Bird, and Brave Bird will be doing huge damage to the Quagsire. We barely don't take them out, so we snipe them with our Meganium. They come in with a Shadow Ninetales. They do make it to the Weather Ball as we reach the Earthquake, which is unfortunate. Weather Ball will be taking out the Meganium, but now we just need to make it to a Brave Bird up against this Ninetales or Earthquake. Doesn't really matter. Either, it will be enough damage from this range to take out the Ninetales, and we get very fortunate in that game. Into next game, we see a Shadow Victory Belt in the lead, so going to say swap into our Chandelure, and the opponent is going to stay in initially before eventually swapping into Swampert, and we're going to go straight for that Energy Ball. Energy Ball takes out the Swampert from full health there. And now we have regained switch advantage. They come back in with the Victory Bell, which is questionable, but they've got a knocked out in the back, so clearly wanted to keep that knocked out for the Shadow Meganium and just hope that it can beat whatever we've got. And this is unfortunately not the most comfortable matchup, at least when all shields are still in play. We're going to bait with an Earthquake here. Honestly, we keep on going for 2 Incinerates before throwing. We should be throwing after 1 Incinerate, but luckily for us, the opponent throws on alignment there, so we get a full Incinerate in for free. We're now going to bait with another Earthquake. I disagree with this play once again, as now it will take 1 more Incinerate to reach the next Brave Bird here. But the opponent makes it to a charge move anyway, so it doesn't matter here. They go for the Sky Attack, it takes out the Ho-Oh, and can we live these Wing Attacks and the Sky Attack from this range and make it to a Frenzy Plant? Frenzy Plant will take them out, and we do barely live the Sky Attack, and we make it to the Frenzy Plant, and as I've already said, Frenzy Plant will take out the Noctowl, and we're able to take that game. So that's going to be it for today's video. If you did enjoy it, please make sure you leave a like, leave a comment letting me know, and as well, don't forget to respond to the question of the day if you haven't done so already. And if you want to see more content like this in the future, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications. That way you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. But with that being said, thank you all so much for watching today's video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.